All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Lisa Partida with Home Again LA, and today we have a new guest speakers, Alberto Tapia with Universal City Studios Credit Union. And today we're going to be talking about the difference between banks and credit unions. So I'll go ahead and pass it along to Alberto to give you more information.
Yeah, I also introduce myself as
Oh,
well.
yeah, Taylor.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
no worries. My name's Taylor Brusini. I am with the Universal City Studios Credit Union as well. We're super happy to be here. Yeah, we'll pass it over to Albert. He's been in the industry for quite a long time. I'm sure he'll touch on as well. And we got some great stuff for us to share with everyone here today.
Awesome. I am trying to figure out my video. Here we go. Okay. I promise I'm a millennial. I know how this stuff works. But yeah, thank you for the intro. And thank you, Home Again and Lisa for putting this together. Um, I've been in the industry for 10 years this year. I'm passionate about the credit union movement. I have experience in the operations, compliance, and community outreach building. Um, and really, what drives me the most is the belief that financial education can truly change lives. I've worked with members all across different communities, helping them building credit, save money, um, and just reach financial goals. So beyond the day to day of running the credit union, I'm passionate about making banking more accessible, fair, and people focused. So at any time through the PowerPoint presentation, please ask questions. I love having it just as a traditional conversation. Interrupt at any time. Okay. Alrighty. Then let me get this started. Okay. So for today's agenda, we will go over what is a financial institution. We'll discuss how to open and how to manage your accounts on the uh, your everyday goings. And then we'll also go over some banking challenges. And throughout the presentation, you'll hear me say the word banking, and that is just in general for both bank and credit unions. That's the term we use. Not a fan of the banking word, but it'll do. And then finally, we'll try to do some goals. We'll recap with some key takeaways, and we'll open it up for more questions. Okay, so to start off, I want to ask the group, and feel free to unmute yourself, or if you don't, totally okay. But I kind of want to ask the group, when you hear the word bank, what is it that comes to mind? Can anyone share anything?
Your checking and savings account.
Checking, savings, great. Okay. How about when you hear the word credit union or the word credit union?
Go ahead,
There's not
Leslie.
much. Oh,
Oh, I was gonna say maybe just more of a private. I hate you. I know you hate the word banking, but a more private bank. But I
Baking.
know they're not a bank. But I mean, they are, but they're not.
Yes, it literally we are, but we're not. That's funny. Yeah, that is a perfect explanation. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. We'll get moving. So, first of all, the actual definition, it is organizations that help people manage money. And this goes in line with saving accounts, whether you need to borrow or you're making payments, you're investing. Um, and then you have the banks versus credit unions. So banks in general, traditionally, they're for profit. That is their main goal is for profit. They are shareholder owned, they have higher fees and lower savings rates. Now, on the credit unions, our biggest thing is we're nonprofits. We're member owned. We don't even call them customers. You guys are members. Our board of directors are volunteers. They're unpaid. They're the ones that help the credit union manage overall our financials. We offer products and services at much lower fees, sometimes not even any fees at all. We offer better rates when it comes to borrowing, and we are more community focused and community driven. There are some similarities and there are also some myths. Both of us are insured. Banks are insured by what you may have heard, the FDIC, and that is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Credit unions were insured by the NCUA, that is the National Credit Union Administration. Both of these are insurances, and they're basically our auditors at the federal level. They're the ones that ensure that if the building is ever burned down or the credit union just can't manage anymore, or the banks, they're the ones that will step in and cover any money loss for the members. Both of us offer checking accounts. We offer saving accounts, loans, credit cards, mobile apps. And one of the myths that you'll always hear is that credit unions are too small or we're limited. Yes, some are small, but we're never too small. I like to say we're small and mighty. There are credit unions that range from all sizes, just as there are banks of all sizes. Okay, so we'll kick in to opening an account. And what are some basic requirements? You'll actually see this by law. You have to see this posted at every branch, regardless if it's a bank or credit union. You will see something that talks about the USA Patriot Act. That is what established the basic requirements that we, by federal law, have to take in when opening an account. And for example, that is your valid identification. This includes your ID issued by the state, your driver's license, any passport, any country passport, so as long as it's valid. And there are other government issued IDs. For example, there's several immigration cards that we do take. There are others that we don't. Also, by law, we're required to collect these basic facts about you. And typically you can find these all but one on your ID card. And that is, it has to have your full name, your date of birth, your physical address. If it's different or it's not on your ID, for example, the passport doesn't have our physical address, some of us, banks or credit unions, will require additional proof if it's different from what's on your ID. And that could be your lease agreement, a utility bill. Typically, those are the ones. And then we also collect the individual ID number. And I like to say for a US person, basically someone with documents, they will have a social security number. If they're a non-US person, the IRS issues these folks that pay taxes what's called an ITIN, and this is an individual tax ID number. It's also 9 digits that they use to file taxes. It's like a social, but very different. So what makes us different from the STAR, credit unions and banks, it's a membership, but a membership for what? But with banks, anybody from anywhere, regardless of where you're at, where you live, where you go to school or church, you can open an account with them at any time, in any way. Credit unions, because we are membership owned, that means that only certain type of folks can join the credit union. Now, we've had actually some arguments where they've tried to sue credit unions saying that it is racist or that it's limited, but this was actually in the Credit Union Act at the federal level, where credit unions are created for a specific kind of member. There are, for example, there's credit unions that are specific for only a certain group of individuals. That could be where they work. It could be depending on their community based, depending on zip codes where they live, where they work. worship, attend a school, or sometimes even a profession. One of the biggest or the biggest credit union in the state, it's Schools First Federal Credit Union. They're only for employees of a school district. For where we are at Universal City Studios Credit Union, we were created for employees of NBC. Both all credit unions, we also have what we call the direct relatives. You can qualify regardless of where you live, work, worship, or attend school. If one of your direct relatives has an account, that includes only your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your children, or your spouses. Another difference of credit unions is because we're membership based, we charge $1 lifetime fee for your membership. So in the future, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 1 year down the road, if you ever close your account or you close your membership, there is a $1 fee that will be returned to you. So again, credit unions, not all of folks qualify for membership, but we were all created with a specific purpose. Any questions so far here? Okay. We'll move on to products. All of these products are offered at both financial institutions. Both banks and credit unions offer savings accounts. We offer checking accounts. Share certificates, or CDs is what the banks call them. Now, these are certificates. It's when you bring in a certain amount of money, you freeze it, you lock it for a certain amount of time. It could be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2, 3. And we pay you interest for not touching the money for that set of time. We also offer loans, and these could be secured loans, personal loans, credit cards, auto loans, or mortgages. Oops. Okay. And so now you got to make a choice. You need to choose a financial institution. I know that choosing a financial institution can be very confusing or maybe even stressful. The first step is to ease the transition is to do some research. You want to familiarize yourself with the way the system works. There's a lot of different financial institutions, such as national banks, credit unions, regional or community banks, and online banks that also don't have any branches. So it can get very, very overwhelming very quickly. But doing some initial research can help narrow down which financial institution will be best for you. And determining what type of financial institution you're interested in is a great place to start. Okay, so a little bit about Universal City Studios Credit Union is we've been around since 1927, so almost 100 years. We first started out for employees of NBC or Universal, but through our time, we were able to expand into more of a community-based. So now, depending on where you live, work, worship, or attend school, if you're in the San Fernando Valley or West LA, you most likely qualify for membership with us. We're currently, actually, Taylor is leading the project and requesting in a formal request to expand to the entire county of LA. Now, for us, there's only a $1 fee to join, and $5 is your first time deposit. So for $6, you can open an account with us. Some products that we offer are savings accounts. These savings accounts, they earn dividends. Basically, we pay you interest for the money that you have in your account at the end of the month. There is no minimum balance on these. We offer 3 different kinds of checking accounts, and some of these earn dividends. We also offer holiday accounts, and these are also earns dividends, and we set them up for the holidays where folks can deposit some of their money from their paycheck or every week or 2 weeks, a certain amount where they can have that money available in October, November time for the holidays. Again, share certificates, these earn dividends. This is again where the money is locked for a specific chosen term. Some of these have a minimum balance, which are typically around $300 to $500. IRA accounts, these are retirement accounts and the terms vary. There are also money market accounts. These are like a share certificate, but the funds aren't locked. So they pay dividends and you can access them at any time. For some services that are offered, we have direct deposit, which is free, online and an app. We have ATM networks with no fees. We have bill pay services where we can send out the payments for your bills. We have wires, insurances, and financial education like the one right now. For loans, we offer autos, there's credit cards, personal. There's loans where we don't check credit. There are credit builder loans. There are also secure loans and mortgages. Any questions so far on products or services?
I actually had a question regarding the dividend aspect of it for the holiday account. How does that
Yeah.
work? How do you guys pay out the dividends, or how often does that come about?
Yes, so the holiday accounts is typically the members will do it as soon as their paycheck hits their account. Our system will automatically transfer over whatever amount the members choose. It could be $10, 15, 20, 5, $1. Transfer it over into this special account, which is a holiday club account. And those funds are frozen and we pay you every month a little bit of dividends for that money that's in that account. And then come around October, November, we start sending letters out to the members like, hey, your money is becoming available. Do you want to touch it? Do you want to go shop around? But that's basically what it is. It's like a second savings account where the idea is that you don't touch the money. You can touch it if you like, but you don't have to.
Mhm.
And it's frozen until the holiday times. And folks love to go shopping, and that's what they use it for.
Okay, Leslie, go ahead.
My question was on the IRA accounts that you
Yeah.
guys offer.
Mhm.
Do you, because I have one from my first job ever,
Yeah.
and it's there and it's growing and stuff. How do you guys do like the CD-ROM where you can I can transfer that like to you guys? Just because
Yes.
it's closer, is there a certain percentage?
Yes, we have several IRA accounts, and there's also several certificates. Basically, you can roll it over without having to pay any taxes on it
Fee.
or any fees. We'll take it over. We'll give you the paperwork. You'll roll it over, transfer it here with us, and you can open IRA a regular IRA account where you just keep your funds. Don't touch it. We pay you for not touching it, or a certificate, also specific term based, where the funds are locked. You are still able to touch them, but because it's a retirement account, there's a lot of penalties by the IRS when it comes to that.
Mm,
Mhm. But there's several different ones. They're all term based, and each term has their own rate.
okay.
Mhm. Any other questions? All right, let's move on. So specifically for checking and savings accounts, now that you have your proper documentation, you verify your ID is valid, you got your proof of address, it's time to start your financial journey. The first step to building your financial future is to open an account with a financial institution, preferably a credit union. In this section, we'll discuss how to choose a financial institution, how to apply, different accounts, and how to manage your account. So first, you want to gather all your documents, compare the checking accounts that would work best for you. So first, checking accounts are intended for day-to-day use. These are funds that can be freely deposited and taken out or withdrawn in any variety of ways as you need. Checking accounts typically have debit cards linked to them, which are cards that can be used to make everyday purchases. Checking accounts can also be linked to your employer to have your paycheck funds directly deposited into that account automatically on your payday. Depending on your financial institution, you may be able to conduct a variety of services and transactions via online banking or on your app. With a checking account and a debit card, you can typically visit a branch or go to an ATM and make deposits or withdrawals as needed. Or all checking accounts must maintain a positive balance. Zero is perfectly fine as long as it's positive. Or sometimes they'll charge you depending on your financial institution. You have to be sure to monitor your account often and keep track of all transactions as you make them, so you don't always appear like going negative or your balance is going down. A lot of our members set up alerts, so every time they get a deposit or a transaction taken out of their account, they'll get a text letting them know, hey, so and so took your money. Is this good? Is it fraud? So make sure to keep your accounts checked on a daily basis. The other main account type is a savings. Checking accounts are designed for the everyday use. Savings accounts are literally for savings. They're made for putting money away for emergencies or long-term goals. Savings accounts can be opened at the same time as checking account or whenever you like. Credit unions typically offer the savings account directly attached to your membership. It's at the banks where it's optional if you want to open it. It's where they'll give you the checking account instead of a savings. You can make deposits into your savings account at your financial institution, and you can even have portions of your paycheck sent directly to the savings account automatically on payday to grow your savings. You'll also be able to set up automatic transfers between your checking and the savings account to just, a lot of folks love to do that because psychologically, if they don't see the money and it's already in the savings, it's good there and they won't touch it. But if it hits the checking account, they think that's free money and they'll play around with it. So savings accounts can also earn interest on the balance that you have in the account over time. The interest rate is determined by the financial institution, and different types of savings accounts offer different interest rates. Typically, savings accounts do not have debit cards linked to them, as they're designed for long-term savings and may have limits on how many times you can withdraw through a certain period of time. That also varies from bank to bank or credit union to credit union. And again, it's just a way to force the members to save. Any questions?
Do all your savings accounts or any of do you have the option to also lock that savings account so that way you don't touch that money? That would be a good option.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can lock it up. You can tell us freeze it, don't let me touch it. And a lot of members do that. They
Okay,
have to freeze it.
That's really good to know.
Yes.
We got another question in the chat
Yeah.
regarding the previous slide. What's the maximum and minimum for personal loan and rate of the interest that you
Oh,
guys have?
sure. Okay, let's go back. So for the loans on personal, typically there's not a set minimum. And I can tell you that because right now I have loans on the books that someone needed to borrow $200. And then typically there's only a max. The max that we offer on personal loans is 15,000.
Okay. And then and the rate of the interest?
The interest rate depends on your credit score and it depends how much you're borrowing and for how long.
Okay.
So typically, the lower your credit score or the longer you borrow the loan for, the higher interest you're going to have. So it's always best to not have the loan for a long time and to keep your credit score high and healthy. with us, our rates right now, they're roughly around 10%.
Okay. And then I had a question regarding the no credit check loans. Like, what does that entail? What are the requirements for somebody who, may not have the best credit to apply for
Yeah.
that type of loan?
Yes. So if you guys have ever heard of the payday lenders, you got your One Mains of the world, you got your, I think Check and Go used to have branches, but they shut them down a couple years ago here in the state. Or you have places like Oportun, those payday loans.
Mhm.
This product was created directly to compete against those companies. We call them predatory lenders because one, they're not all insured by the federal government, and two, they're not regulated by the federal government, meaning they can charge whatever interest and fees they want. Up to them. Our no credit check loans, they're based on your relationship with us. So they're entirely based on how active you are with us. So the more activity we see or the more involvement we see from you, the more likely you're going to get these personal loans without checking your credit, without asking for income. You're going to get higher approvals. So we actually just launched this loan product about a month ago, and we've already seen a lot of people using it. And basically, the way that it works is that at minimum, you need to have your membership with us for 6 months. You also need to have direct deposit hitting your account at minimum for the amount that you're trying to borrow. And these loans go from anywhere from as low as $200 and the highest is $4,000. And you basically get approved up to a certain percentage of how much you're getting directly deposited within the last 2 months.
Mm.
So that's why I'm saying that the more you get in direct deposit, the more you're involved with us. It's based on the term of the membership. You're more likely to get approved for this loan.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Was there any other questions?
No, I don't see anything else.
Awesome. Sounds like we're gonna need to have another workshop on lending and building credit.
Absolutely. I'm all for it.
Okay. So back to now managing your accounts. You need to monitor your accounts regularly. And a lot of banks and credit unions will use the term good standing. So to keep your account in good standing, you need to monitor your activity and your balances on a daily basis. Literally, as soon as you wake up, just check your account, make sure there's no fraud, make sure everything went through. That we will typically send you a monthly statement in the mail or by email or through the app, through online, that'll basically give you an entire summary of what you did in the last month. That includes all your transactions, deposits, balances, withdrawals. So make sure to view your statement regularly and make note of any suspicious activity or anything that you think is unusual or fraud. You need to contact your institution as soon as you know, because there are also legal limits that after about 90 days, it could be about 90 to 180 days. If you tell us there was fraud after 3 months, the chances are we're not going to be able to get you that money back. So if you have access to online or mobile banking, be sure to check your balances and keep track of your spending. Remember, you can only spend what you have put into your account. If you exceed that amount, your account can go overdrawn, which will result in negative balances, and that may lead to higher fees or the transaction potentially being denied. And this is when you're no longer in good standing. These fees can add up very quickly, so it's crucial to keep track of your account balance and avoid overspending. If an account ends up with a negative balance for an extended period of time, the financial institution, by law, we need to close that account, and it's going to be difficult for you to open another account somewhere else because we have something that's called Check Systems. Check Systems is a system that all banks, all credit unions in the country use. Whenever you run an account or whenever you open an account at any financial institution, we run your data through Check Systems and we will know if there was something, if you did something wrong at another bank, and we could choose to either give you an account with limits on it, or maybe you won't even get a checking account or a debit card. Or sometimes if you're reported for fraud on the account, we'll actually turn you away and we'll tell you you don't qualify for membership. So very, very important. You keep monitoring your account. Any questions? All right. Oops. Now let's talk about some challenges. Challenge number one, fees are everywhere. Fees are everything, especially when it comes to the banks. Because they are for profit, they need to make money. They need to make income to keep the shareholders happy. Some of the fees that banks have are monthly maintenance fees. On average, these can range, and sorry for the typo, these range anywhere from $10 to $15 at the banks. You'll also get some fees about overdraft or non-sufficient fund fees. These are the NSFs. Whenever you go into the negatives, often the banks will charge you $30 to $40 per incident. And I know that I at least know that Wells Fargo was charging per day that your account was negative. So I know that a lot of us depend on our paychecks to hit. Now imagine if we get paid every 2 weeks, you're gonna get 2 weeks worth of fees. And that $30, 35, that's insane. You'll never catch up again. They also have ATM fees. So if you use what is called a non-network ATMs, they will charge you $2 to $5 per transaction, even by just clicking an inquiry if you want to see your balance. So if you bank at Bank of America and the only closest ATM to you is a Chase ATM and you use it, Bank of America is going to charge you those $2 to $5, and Chase is going to charge you those $2 to $5, which is just ridiculous. There are also some, if you don't keep a minimum balance in your account, or if you don't have direct deposit, or if you're not swiping your card, I know that I believe that Wells Fargo or Chase, they charge you per month if you don't swipe your card at least 15 times, or if you don't have direct deposit or minimum balance. It's ridiculous. But
That's
there's all
crazy.
sorts of penalties if you don't keep enough money in the account. But again, it's because they're for profit. So they're trying to make money anywhere and anyhow they can. Any questions?
No. But
Okay.
my question was gonna be, do you guys
Uh-huh.
have like what kind of like do you guys charge for like minimum balances?
So for credit unions, we offer free accounts. There's also low cost checking accounts. We have 3 different tiers. So there's 3 different requirements depending on about how much you use your account. We also offer much lower or sometimes no overdraft fees. With some, we also offer overdraft forgiveness programs. And because credit unions are a lot more community based, we like to hear from the member their full stories, their full pictures. So we will be reversing all sorts of fees at all times. And so sometimes, like that loan that I told you about, the no credit check,
Mhm.
because we're not running credit, or or even the credit builder loans, we actually lose money by offering those products, because the purpose of both of those products is to help people not have to depend on their paycheck once it hits or living paycheck to paycheck, and to just also reestablish credit or even start building credit, and it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. So
Mhm.
we actually lose money because we got to pay salaries for the employees that help you process those loans.
Wow.
And we're not making a lot of interest on that either. So we're constantly gonna be losing fees. So and Taylor can tell you, I'm one that I will be reversing fees like crazy. Um, we also offer access to shared ATMs or branches with no extra fees. So if you have an account with me and then closest to you is a Schools First ATM, we will actually let you use their ATM without a fee. If you end up going to a bank like Chase or Wells Fargo, you can use it, but we only charge $1. And literally the $1 is just what we get charged through interchange fees. But that bank will also charge you those $2 to $5 for using it on top of your transaction that you're taking out. But we also, again, we participate with all credit unions. So actually, if you combined all ATMs by that Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo have, if you combine those, credit unions have a lot more ATMs than they three put together. So, and we don't charge a fee. There's also
Wow.
some credit unions that participate in what's called a shared branch, meaning we don't participate, but there are other credit unions that do participate. Meaning, if you're across the country and your credit union doesn't have a branch out there, but if your credit union participates in the shared branch network, you can go in and talk to a teller and do a transaction, cash a check through that shared institution without being a member with them and with no fees. You can't do that if you bank at Chase and you go to Wells Fargo or Bank of America. There's no such thing as a shared bank. At credit unions, we don't have any hidden costs. Our disclosures are very clear. They're up on the website. It's easy to find the fee schedules. It's very clear, very standard. And again, like I said, if you call your credit union, we'll most likely reverse a lot of those fees. Any questions?
Okay.
Cool. Challenge number 2 is all about accessibility and the service. Banks, they're large branch networks, but often impersonal service. When you go into one of those banks, they don't know you. They just want to do your transaction, get in, get out. That's it. Their cost centers are typically outsourced, meaning they pay other companies to answer their phones. They typically have long wait times. And all of their decisions, even to just get a fee reversed or a decision on a loan or credit card, they're based on rigid policies and very specific algorithms. At credit unions, and I love to say how big we are with offering personalized service. We have had so many members that come in and they want a car loan. And let's say if our car loan interest is higher than what another credit union is offering them, and I can't beat it and I can't break the rules to get them a better rate, I will tell them, go to that credit union, do your loan there. You're going to be saving money because we're trying to personalize the service. We're focused on the member, and it's all about member service and not sales. At the end of the day, it's all for the member to save as much money as they can. Typically, credit unions are smaller and we're community based, and a lot of our staff, they know the members by name. And I always joke at how bad we spoil our members. We will walk them hand in hand talk to them on the phone. I love to say that we're therapists because sometimes a member will just call us just to talk to us. Doesn't even have anything to do with a transaction. They'll just come in because they haven't seen us. They'll bring us donuts. And because we tend to spoil our members, it's so funny. All of us, even myself, that I'm not typically on the teller line, I have my own specific members that only want to talk to me. Or there's members that only want to talk to Taylor, or members that only want to talk to any other teller that I have. So we love to spoil our members, whether it's for the good or the bad of the credit union. We also appreciate their feedback, and they can directly influence the services and policies. We invite the members to participate on our board of directors. We invite them to attend our annual meeting to hear all about the finances of the credit union and how the credit union is doing. We also participate on advisory boards. And very quickly, our credit union actually has open positions on advisory boards. These are unpaid volunteer positions where we meet on a quarterly basis and we just assess all of our services, or if we need to discuss lowering a fee, or if we need to offer a new product or anything. It's literally the whole point is to advise the credit union on what we can be doing differently. So if anybody wants to join, you're more than welcome to join our advisory board and have a direct impact on the difference the credit union can have. Now, this you won't hear about at a bank, because at a bank, you have to be a shareholder to have any sort of say or voting rights. Any questions?
Nope.
Cool. Okay. The challenges go on. So again, banks have stricter lending standards. They have higher rates. They're focused on profit. Some will even charge you for extra features on an app. It's insane. Profits go to the shareholders outside the local community, and they don't really like to invest into local needs. I know that if you go to any sort of stadium or you see an ad anywhere, the banks have paid, but in return, they're making money off of it. Versus if you ever see a credit union's name at a stadium, that credit union actually offers very specific products to their employees. They'll also do partnerships within the community. They also do any kind of program that create jobs. So it's very, very different when you see a name on a stadium to what a bank is doing and what the credit unions are doing. Credit unions, we offer lower loan rates. We tend to be easier on the approval for members. We have such a willingness to consider a member's full picture outside of their credit score. We also have special programs for first-time borrowers, for students, or for anybody that is rebuilding credit for whatever reason, because we understand that life happens. We understand that we get all these challenges at any time out of nowhere. All of our online or applications are free. There's no feature that's excluded. And we also tend to partner with outside fintech. These are the financial technology companies or providers that can offer some sort of feature to add to our app just so that we can stay current. We also keep the money within the community. We offer financial education. We do outreach and support programs. I know that even some credit unions, depending on how big they are, we will create scholarships. We'll create grants for small businesses. And sometimes if we have such a high profit where we have all this money and we don't want to keep it, we will return it back to the members in the form of an interest payment. back into their savings account. And I've been so lucky to have been part of a credit union that did that once because of such a very high profit. And this was in the middle of COVID. We returned a lot of that money back to the members. We also do a lot of donations. We do sponsorships for local schools or fundraisers, other nonprofits, or specific events. And again, we love partnering up with other local organizations or small businesses. Any questions?
I just had one question. Can you tell us a little bit more how you guys help with the scholarships?
Yes. So I've also been a part of a credit union network. It is called the San Fernando Valley Credit Union Network. What this network does is all of us are employees of a credit union. Right now, we have about 10 members. So it's about 10 different credit unions. And what we end up doing is we will pull in together different resources. Sometimes we create scholarships and where we ask our own credit unions, hey, how much can you donate so we can create these scholarships? And it could be all sorts of scholarships, typically for school purposes or for college, high school kids. And so it's all about partnership. Even within credit unions, we will talk to each other and we'll be like, hey, do you want to put together a program? Do you want to create this scholarship? Like, even if it's $500 or $1,000, let's pull in some money. And that is how we create scholarships for all of our members, regardless of where you think.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Now, if does the child, the high school kid, have to have the membership in order to qualify for the scholarship, or just like the parents can put in?
Yes and no. There's different, we try to make it as easy as we can. So there's different requirements depending on the credit union or scholarship. Obviously, we would love and welcome you to be an actual member to participate. So some credit unions will put that in place as a requirement, that the student and the parent have their own account, or sometimes we don't. It just depends on the initiative that we're taking on with that scholarship.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Any other questions?
And that would be the same thing for like fundraising.
Yeah,
You-
depends also on the fundraiser. Like for example, right now we're running a fundraiser on school supplies drive. So basically, we're partnering up with a few schools and with the Burbank School District, where we will guarantee that if our member donates school supplies, I'll give you a discount on a loan, whether it's new or existing, or I'll also bump up your certificate dividend rate if you donate school supplies. So different things like that.
That's
We
a
can get all
Mhm.
sorts of creative.
good incentive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
No?
Cool. All right. Then let's move on to some tips for your financial success. So, we're almost about to wrap up. I want to leave you with some tips for long-term financial success. So again, I know that trying to navigate all of this by yourself is very confusing and difficult. So I really, really hope that today's presentation can at least provided you with some helpful starting points. So for some tips, you want to make sure that you have the correct documentation and ready to go when you open an account or even when you're applying for an ITIN with the IRS. You want to keep track of all of your documentation in a safe place so you can access it easily when needed. Make sure you find a financial institution that meets your needs and open a checking account and a savings account. You want to keep close track of all your transactions you make through your checking account or savings to ensure your account remains in good standing, and automate savings transfers to work towards your financial goals. You also want to explore various types of savings accounts to find the one that meets your needs, depending on the amount of money you have available to put into a savings at that time and how long you plan on being able to leave it in the account before needing to access it. For higher balances that can be on hold for a while, you may be eligible for higher interest rates with certain types of savings accounts. Once you've opened your checking and savings account, you want to explore the availability or whatever your needs are around applying for credit and just begin to establish a strong credit score. And this also helps you establish a relationship with the credit union. Consider starting with a secured credit card or credit builder or secured loan to start building a mix of the credit or credit union history. Remember to make your payments on time every month and prioritize paying your entire credit cards or your minimum payment balance in full every month to keep your utilization low. Be sure to practice healthy habits with your new accounts. Prioritize keeping a close record of all transactions you make through your checking accounts to ensure you're aware of all your available balance, even if a transaction has not yet posted. Make all payments on time every month, and if you know you'll be unable to do so at any given month, reach out to your creditor as soon as possible to discuss what options are available to you. Many creditors have options that if you're facing a hardship, they'll try and help you. If they cannot help, if so, you need to remember that we cannot help you if you don't tell us what's going on. So communication is always key, especially with credit unions. And finally, I know we've covered a lot today, but we barely even scratched the surface of things to know when it comes to the financial success. Please know that you don't have to navigate this alone. Our credit union or credit unions like us are here to help you out. Again, all you need to just walk in and ask questions. Even if you're a non-member, we'll still help you out. We'll still give you tips. We'll answer all your questions you may have. Any questions so far? We're almost done here. Okay. Our credit union is also partnered with Green Path. They're a non-for-profit organization that they offer free and confidential financial assessments. So you can call somebody and conduct any kind of counseling around your credit report. They'll help you even how to look for rentals, how to buy a mortgage. There's home buying counseling. There's also on getting student loans, and they'll also help you on managing your debt, or if you need to restructure your debt. They'll help you with creating a budget with you, action plans, creating actual goals, and this is all for free. Credit unions typically do this, or if we don't have um, the staff, will tell you, hey, go with GreenPath. They offer the services for free, and they have counselors. I believe the latest, it's like 9 p.m. all throughout the country, over 300 languages. They'll offer translation services. So anything you need, you can become a member and get their free service through GreenPath.
So I know we're almost out of here, but I just want to jump in and kind of elaborate on what Albert had said on the last slide as well. We're always big proponents of credit unions just in general, because a lot of times they are here to help, especially, on the in terms of credit unions versus banks. But us, especially Albert and I, we're super passionate about giving back. That's why we're doing this workshop and others and trying to give back to the community. So we are always here to help. Our main branch is right on San Fernando in downtown Burbank. So if you ever want to pop in, Lisa, is it okay if they reach out to you as well to get our contact information?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah,
Um,
so
yeah.
if you ever want to get in
There
touch,
you go.
even better. So it's on the
Awesome.
screen as well. If you don't catch it here, I'm sure you can reach out to Lisa as well. But we're always here to help. You can give us a call, shoot us an email. That's the other thing is if you do call our numbers or even our main line or walk in, you're probably going to see Albert or I in there pretty much every single day. Or same if you call, you can ask for us and we'll be on the phone, which is going to be a lot different than the robo messages that you'll probably get a lot of other places. So we're here to help. We can sit down with you. We've done it for hours with members, walking them through because we know it's overwhelming. We know it's a lot, and we're happy to just kind of sit down and help and talk you through. We know everyone's situation's different. Not all times are good times. We've all been through it, so we're here to kind of help people with that. There's no situation that is without optimism and hope in the future. It's just about a process and sitting down and figuring out how we can help you get through that. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you.
Yes, awesome.
I know.
Any last questions?
Yes, Leslie has one more question. She's asking, do you guys offer workshops for kids about financial education and credit, or finance and credit?
Yes, so we're working on it. We're also trying to build out a product for parents and the kids. The idea that we have right now, and Taylor's also leading the efforts on this. The idea is that through our app, we're going to allow the parents to basically tell the kid, hey, if you do your chore, I'll pay you this much for it. And we'll do transfers. There's going to be budgeting games and financial education. Yes, so we don't have a formal program right now. But again, if you're more than welcome to come in and sit down with us, we'll go through it.
Perfect.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank
Or-
you. We look forward to continue working with you guys, and I'll check back in. So just so you guys know, we have a preliminary date scheduled for our next workshop. I think it's going to be about savings, right, on the 2nd?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll see you guys on the 2nd. Thank you.
Alrighty,
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you,
everyone for
everybody.
attending.
Bye.
Appreciate it, and thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a good night.